Hey y'all, welcome to Reflecting Divinity. My name's Jamie, I'm an intuitive reader, and today I have a tarot and oracle pick a card reading about what you need to know, what your guides are wanting to bring to your attention, what's important for you to know. And I felt like Spirit needs us to check in with our self-care. And so I'm using the self-care oracle deck to help you tap into which reading is for you. So for pile 1, we have Calm Mom with a piece of green fluorite. And then for pile 2, we have Dance with blue apatite. And for pile 3, we have Take Control of Change with a piece of quartz. And I should say we have number 7 here. We have 39 here for pile 2, and we have 13 for pile 3. So just take a moment to tap into which reading is calling to you, which one you feel intuitively drawn to, and just know that you can take what resonates and release the rest, and know that all my readings are timeless. And I will see you at your selected reading. Hi, reading 1. If you chose the number 7, Calm Mom, or the green fluorite, this is your reading. So Spirit, what I'm feeling here is calling you to reach out to someone who can support you in a nurturing way, in a nourishing way. That maybe it's been a while since you have been supported in that way, because I feel like some of you, you could be moms yourself, and that kind of sense of giving, and not really receiving the nurturing back. So maybe it's making that connection, whether that's to a, mother figure, a mom or grandmother, or an aunt, or someone who is a friend but has a very nurturing energy, a very, mothering energy. Right? Because we know that sometimes moms aren't that for certain people. So it's really just about finding that support outside of yourself that is going to be kind of open and non-judgmental for you, pile 1. I feel like that is important, because it feels like you need to get something kind of out of your system emotionally, that kind of venting, a connection and understanding of where you're at. And it could be related to, again, motherhood, or just something where you're kind of going through a period of creation of some sort. And, it can feel overwhelming at times. And it feels like this would just be a kind of like a relief for you. So whatever resonates with you, I'm gonna pull some tarot cards here just to see what's going on. So with the Lovers, yeah, this is, for me, it's coming through as balance. There's something out of balance, or maybe it's not even out of balance, but there's an aspect here that needs a little bit more attention. Like you need that nurturing. Maybe you need that feminine aspect. Maybe you've been in kind of that very masculine, active, kind of electric mode. And it's time for the other side of that coin to move into a bit more of a feminine. Yeah, with Page of Cups, it's a little bit more feminine and flowing and open and creative here. So again, you could be coming from like creativity and maybe again, some of you have children with a Page of Cups. You know, there's that idea of children and play and imagination. And that, I feel like you are that for others, pile one, even if you are not a woman or identify in that way. We all still have these energies, masculine, feminine, you know, nurturing, or I don't know what the opposite of nurturing would be, but maybe just more authoritative. We all have these. You have all of these aspects, and it's just kind of like, what role have we been in? And with the Seven of Wands, that is a bit of that energy of really having to defend. I feel like it's not even necessarily defend, it's you having to navigate or figure out how to give attention to all these other wands. Like, I feel like there's people around you always like reaching their hand out, like, hey, like, give us stuff. Whether it's attention or energy or, you know, your time, you know, whatever it is, it's demanding of you. And so you're standing up and you're like, okay, like, how can I keep my boundaries and stand here and still give to this level? And I think that's where you need a break. You need someone to help you kind of take that weight off your shoulders, you know, because I'm thinking about how the Ten of Wands, the end of the road, you're bearing all of the wands. And so, yeah, I would say also there's the more masculine energy here with the wands and the fiery energy. So that's where some balancing could come in for you, pile one. I'm going to pull from the Spirit Junkie Oracle deck to get, I don't know, one or two messages. Okay, so this one flew out for you. We have, I am committed to bringing forth my greatness. I will no longer play small. Yeah, okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, coming back to that idea of being in creation. This is a big, not even an opportunity necessarily. I feel like that's not the right word, but it's a gift. It's a gift. And you have the duality of masculine and feminine here. And it's time to kind of bring both together in a big way. That's what it feels like. And this could feel like you are really, I would say, like exposing a kind of more vulnerable and tender side of yourself. And with the Seven of Wands, it almost feels like that's scary, because it feels like I have to defend myself, I have to be on guard, and what's going to happen. And I feel like Spirit's saying like, hey, you know, you're ready for this, whatever it is, and maybe you need to let off some steam in some way, or vent, or receive a nurturing, and give yourself the time and energy that you've been, you know, spending on other people or other projects. Whatever's been kind of taking away your energy. When was the last time you did something just for fun, for your own enjoyment? Okay, so we have compassion is my compass. I am willing to hold space for the experience of others. Yeah, you have this deep compassion for others. I feel like you have been in that space of holding that for others, holding that compassion and sharing your energy and your resources in a very nurturing way, but now it's time for you to, it's like flipping the roles here, for you to receive that. And that doesn't make you not compassionate. Just, it's kind of time for you to grow, to put yourself out there. And yeah, it feels like there's an idea that's been there, that's been maybe put on the back burner, but now Spirit's saying it's time. It's time to give it attention, to bring it to life, to step into a new role. And Spirit is here to back you up, to protect you. Okay, so we had from the Starseeds Oracle, we have Ascension. Your soul is evolving to higher states of consciousness. You are ready for this. Yeah, you're ascending. You're leveling up. You're putting yourself out there in some way. Okay, we have magnificence. You are amazing, magnificent, and unique. But most importantly, you are enough. Yeah, you are more than enough, and it's if you're feeling that call, it's time. And if you need to, call your mom quite literally and say, hey, like, this is what I'm feeling, and receive some support on that. It's kind of like a sense of acknowledging, finally, like something that's been on your heart or on your mind, acknowledging it for the first time in a real way, and really giving it room to grow, not just seen as like something, like a wish, a fairy tale, like something that isn't real, but like, oh, this is an idea that I can bring to the world in some way. So let's look at your final message here is from the Affirmators deck, and you got confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ that is? Oh, pile one. Yes. Yes, it's time for you to be mothered, to have your mom be proud of you, to have that kind of energy coming back to you in some way, to allow you to be this creative, imaginative person that you are. You're compassionate and unique, and you have ideas, and it's kind of, they're ready. I feel like you're at that point where you are ready to take that step and acknowledge where you are and where you're going. Like, really applaud yourself. You deserve a pat on the back. You deserve that for sure. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. I thank you for being here, and I wish you all the best. I give you my love. But until next time, bye, Pile One. Hello, reading number 2. If you chose the Blue Appetite or 39 Dance, this is your reading. So, yeah, you are being called by Spirit to put yourself out there in how you express yourself, and how you are inspired, and how you are lit up. Like, where are you passionate? This is, I'm getting the message that you're meant to move in ways that might feel uncomfortable for you, that might feel awkward, almost like a dance routine that you are just learning and you're trying to, coordinate it and remember it and make it fluid. Like, it's that process. I had some fall out, but they're too many. Yeah, I feel like you're being called to be carefree, to take some time even alone and dance like no one's watching, like no one can see you. And that this will kind of get the blood pumping and clear out some stale energy. I feel like you're gonna think more clearly just by dancing or moving your body, exercising, but in a joyful way, in a way that makes you feel good. Pile 2. Okay, so we have the 3 of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, and the King of Cups. Yeah, so there is that sense of taking some time for yourself to get clear on what you want. And I see that with the 2 of Wands here, and some contemplation and some ideas. And I think there's a balance here between being overly kind of analytical and really needing to know all the details, and just kind of letting go and seeing what happens. And I feel like this is something that you have been developing and working on, and I'm getting the sense of like internship, or you've kind of been at a entry level point for a while, but you've actually developed your skills beyond that now. It's going back to the dance routine. I feel like you started out as a little awkward. It felt a little bit uncomfortable, and you were taking direction and you were practicing and honing, and it was a lot of work. But now you're at the point where it's like, oh, like I actually can take this somewhere, but where, I feel like this is related to your passion, what lights you up. And if you allow yourself this time to expand in the way that maybe just dancing and letting go, like no one's watching you, you're gonna get to some clarity about it, not just within the mind, but I feel like emotionally there's a realization here that there's more stability, more of an offering here within you. I also feel like the King of Cups could be a person in your life that is offering you something, and I just keep feeling stability and a deep kind of empathy and a connection there between you and this person. Something about, again, with just you alone dancing. There's something there. There's something that it feels like an epiphany or a realization or an understanding about this, that just kind of looking at on the surface or analyzing the evidence is not enough. And that's why you're being called to dance, to follow your passion. I can expand time when I'm inspired. Yeah, okay. So that inspiration, that time to feel inspired and passionate, even if you're just alone and dancing by yourself, if you're, doing whatever it is that inspires you, that kind of gets you moving, that gets you lit up, that's going to expand not just like your sense of time, but I feel like your perspective as well, pile 2. This is from the Spirit Junkie Oracle, by the way. If this one wants to come out. Okay, so guidance is available to me now. I know that angels, ancestors, and spirit guides are always at hand. I do not walk alone. Okay, so yeah, this is not just a time for you to be in that passion and inspiration, but it's also a time for you to get in tune with your own intuition, to receive messages from your guides, because you aren't really ever alone if you believe that, you have guides and spirit always around you and available to you. So your entry point for a conversation with spirit could be something like dancing or painting, something that really inspires you and gets you moving and creating and expressing. Pile 2, I feel like that's important. It's to get into that other side of the brain. Like, yeah, you've practiced the skills, you've memorized, you've made lists and you've thought about it, you checked it twice, I don't know, but yeah, it's more than that now. Like, you have to come at it from the kind of emotional side, and I feel like this will be much more conducive to you kind of figuring this out, because I feel like there's like a choice or a figuring out here for you. So you have blue flame. Connect to the blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. Yeah, blue flame, there's a lot of fire energy here. I mean, we've got the Two of Wands, but we also, with just dance and inspiration, I'm just feeling that energy of fire and flames and the transformation qualities, the transformative qualities of fire, and that there's something here that it's potent and can help you process, and it feels like clear out while also creating at the same time. Okay, fruition. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. Yeah, there's something real here. It's not just an idea. Like, there's an actual something that can come from this, pile 2. And there's now this place of deep, like, wisdom and emotional understanding rather than a analytical kind of understanding that you can come and bring to this idea in a way that it can manifest in that way. So I want to give you one last message from the Affirmators deck. Yeah, you're being divinely guided. It's a knowing in the heart, not the head. It's not going to be a linear process. Again, this is like an organic, fluid process, because I feel like you have that foundation, but now it's time to allow it to unfold in this flowing, creative, an open way, an intuitive way. And I just feel like I have to say, you're going to figure it out. It's going to be okay. It's about kind of releasing that worry. Okay, so we have nature. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside of that man-made box. Take a walk in the woods. Smell those flowers. Hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggery and stuff. But you'll find that even then, those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humor. If that doesn't make you want to hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. I think that's the point, pile 2, is that you're not a robot. And this is what you need. You need that organic, free expression that you can find in nature, that creative flowing where you can be alone in nature, you can dance in nature, you can hug trees, you can just expand from yourself and just see what shows up for you. And this is going to be much more, again, conducive to your dreams, what you're aspiring to, what you've been planning or thinking about. This will help you feel better about it. I mean, that's kind of the important part, is like, how do you feel about this pile 2, this idea or this plan or this person? I feel like there could be something there for some of you. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Pile 2, I thank you for being here. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. But until next time, bye, Pile 2. Hi, Reading 3. If you chose number 13, Take Control of Change, or the Clear Quartz, then this is your reading. So, wow, you had one fall out right away. It feels like you are at a point where you're at like a tipping point or something, like you're on the edge of something that has been building up, and I'm feeling like this could be good. This could be, well, I should say it could be perceived as negative or it could be perceived as positive. But ultimately it feels like this was meant to happen, that you're just at that point where it's like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm switching things up. And you're just ready. It feels like that point is here now for most of you, or it's like right there on the horizon. You can see it now. And the benefit of changing is going to outweigh the benefits of staying the same, right? You're seeing now, oh, here it is. And maybe this is scary for you. And so one way that you can take control of the change to make it feel less scary or like threatening is to take some smaller steps to get you just kind of exposed to the change in a way, to make you feel more comfortable with it. So we've already had 2. Okay, yeah, so we've had the 8 of Cups fall out first. So yeah, there's some change. There's like a decision here. There is a sense of control. And then we have Temperance. Yeah, so you're like finding your balance. You're finding your kind of neutrality in this. Again, you're going to be more clear and less on guard when you kind of take this control in your own hands. It's about you stepping into a role of being your own leader. Pile 3, with that 8 of Cups, and connecting with your higher self. I'm feeling with Temperance, there's this sense of setting a boundary with other people in your life by making a change, even if it's something deemed small, like, you know, a haircut. Like, hair grows back, it's not the end of the world, right? But taking charge of that change can be so empowering. Pile 3. Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like you are very connected to your higher self, maybe more so than you realize consciously, but you are feeling that draw. You know at some level what needs to happen. Of course, I mean, it is scary, like change is scary. But once you take that first step, it's going to be easier and easier. And this is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Remember, like, this is about self-care, you know, coming in through that lens of self-care to see what our guides want us to know, right? So they're saying like, yeah, there is change, but we're here with you. Your higher self is you, and you are so connected. You're ready for this because the outcome looks really good with the 10 of Pentacles. And I can't help but feel there's some sense of like maybe leaving something toxic behind. I feel that it could be family for some of you. Like there's some sense of like maybe a controlling family, and you are laying the foundation by taking these steps of change. You're laying the foundation for a new legacy, and a rewarding one in the physical sense too, with it being pentacles. There's like a really visceral and kind of a literal development here. And so we had from the Spirit Junkie, this one fell out for you. I seek out happy people who inspire me to be great. And so it's just confirming, Spirit's confirming that it's about surrounding yourself with people that are in alignment with your higher self, you know, that they're coming from that place too, and that they are positively influencing you and inspiring you, and that there's, instead of just people taking or diminishing you in some way, it's they're helping you grow, right? They're giving you, I don't know, I'm almost getting like a sense of like brainstorming with people, and you're sharing ideas and you're feeding off each other's energy in a positive way, because you're giving at the same time, that there's a flow there. It's a healthy kind of feeding, like where you're energized by people. And this could feel very different for some of you, like something you haven't experienced before, because you're just kind of used to other people taking and putting things onto you that aren't you. And Spirit is here with you. Like Spirit's here holding the scissors to your hair. Okay, so we have, I celebrate all the greatness in my life. Yeah, greatness, like the power of the 10 of Pentacles, like that legacy, that the power of this is huge. Pile 3. And it is just taking that step. And then there it is, right? But it's that first step that's can be daunting. And I feel like you're ready though. Like there's a part of you that's like, I am just so dang tired of the way it's been. And you have this connection, this sense to your own intuition, your higher self, this calling for you to move in a new direction, in a new way, to build a new foundation, like a great foundation, right? Okay, yeah. So we have free spirit. To be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. Yeah, for some of you, you need that freedom. Again, with like that sense of like a toxic or controlling maybe family situation or something, you haven't been able to be yourself, and it's time for you to like leave that judgment behind, to leave that controlling behind. And this could just be like internally too, because we all have these systems of belief that we have formed in our mind from a very young age about what we are allowed to do that's safe, you know. And I think this is just a matter of you kind of questioning that and being like, hey, you know, maybe I should actually question if that belief is valid anymore about myself or my abilities. You're ready, and that there's people out there who are ready to support you on this path. And I'm just feeling like trust Trust may be hard for you, pile 3, but Spirit is saying, like, trust us. So we have strength. You are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. Yeah, you have more strength than you know, because you are being guided and supported by Spirit in this. And if you trust that, you have all the strength that you need to get through this, to take that first step. This is very powerful stuff, pile 3. There's like a birth of your own empowerment. That's what it feels like a rebirth and a true, powerful shift here. Okay, so we had generosity fall out. I give generously to those around me, no matter how much or how little I have. I know there is more than enough to go around, and that the key is to allow it to keep going around without stopping. If I stop the flow, I'm like the one person at the stadium who doesn't do the wave. Yeah, this is where the trust comes in, pile 3. Absolutely. And this does kind of make sense then with the 10 of Pentacles being a very kind of physical, visceral, like foundational, and that earth element, money, the energy of money and abundance. And it can be scary to leave what we have behind for what feels like it could be a risk, right? Like, oh, I don't know how much I will have. And if I give away what I've got and I have nothing left, those types of thoughts, those are the beliefs, the limiting beliefs that can hold you back from taking those steps that you feel like emotionally, right? You feel that call, but actually putting it into practice is the challenge. And Spirit is saying it does require trust and faith, but we're here for you, and we're here for you even at the first smallest step that you can take that feels doable. And that is going to give you more confidence and get you connected. Oh yeah, like I can have patience. I can let this play out. Like there's some element here of like, yeah, like there's that mixing, that flow that has to be achieved. And it's a matter of trusting that time that it takes for that to happen, you're going to be protected, that you have the resources you need and connections with others, and what you do have, right? Finding strength there, and to be that free spirit to, again, be in the flow. There's a lot here about freedom and flowing and not stopping yourself for fear of not having enough, because I feel like you do have enough, and it's looking in other places, new places that you maybe haven't thought about before, and finding the resources you need to help you move through this, pile 3. And I also just kind of one last message I'm feeling with generosity is that you're laying a new foundation again for a new legacy. And this is one of the most generous and compassionate things you can do for yourself, for your ancestors, for your lineage. If, you are going to have kids, laying a foundation like this, it is a tough challenge. It is a lot of what feels like responsibility on you, pile 3, but I feel you're up to the challenge. You are realizing that now, and Spirit is supporting you in this, and you've got this. And once you cut your hair, you're gonna feel so free and energized and empowered, pile 3. So don't cut your hair just because there's a card about cutting your hair. Just take what step you feel like you need to get you in that space mentally and emotionally, and I feel like you'll feel so much better moving forward. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. I thank you for being here. I wish you all the best. I give you my love. But until next time, bye, Pile 3.